This has definitely been one of the biggest projects I've ever been a part of, as far as from a fabrication standpoint. You know, whenever I came in, there were no quarter panels on it. I mean, it was just a shell. So, I mean, I take great pride in the fact that, you know, we have thousands of seams in this thing. And, you know, when you stand back and look at it, it all looks the way that it was supposed to be. So, you know, my first project was, you know, raising the fenders up and widening them and you know, replacing the stone chip guard on the front and just kind of really stylizing every single aspect of the car. And, you know, there's been, you know, hour-long conversations about one panel that bolts underneath the car. So things like that really get me excited.
And then just modify these areas where the trunk lid or the trunk latch attaches. So we have to add a little brace through here. Sure. And a secondary lid.
Pretty simple.
And then these corners may need to be a little bit softer.
What is it? An inch or better? Or what?
It's an inch. It's an inch higher than it used to be.
So the next move is to fit the inner structure back into the car and see what kind of modifications need to be done along with the section. Since we moved everything up an inch, I'll have to take an inch out of both the skin and the inner structure. So I'll have to bolt it back up without the skin and make any changes necessary before I go ahead and put the skin back onto the inner structure. It doesn't look too bad for, considering everything around it's changed. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have to change at least one, and just being that whenever I have it square on the top, it does cause this line to not stay true. So.
Right, and your distance here is the same on both of those, so more than likely the skin was compensating for this not being exactly in the center. Also, we know that this body was skewed a little bit from the B-pillars back. Yeah. This is less than I expected it to be. The corners are actually pretty close down here, so this being a little wide is not too bad.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Go ahead and fill those first. Cut those corners out and take your inch out of it.
Yeah. So watch your foot there. All right, right now, before I section this panel, I want to go ahead and fill this hole since we're not going to be using it anymore. I'm going to fill it now before I cut it. That way, whenever I do make my line for the section, I don't have to compensate for the difference in the width by the time that I shrink this. So just gonna make a quick patch panel, weld it in, never finish it, and then lay out my cut line for my section. So yeah, I mean, basically what I'm doing is with the file is just, I'm not really removing any material, I'm just trying to show where all of my high spots are. So whenever I'm rubbing my hand back and forth on it, I'm just feeling the difference between the highs and the lows and making adjustments accordingly. So in a perfect world, you just get the highs a little bit lower and work your lows up, but obviously that process takes a couple of hours, but it's worth it in the end.
Just cut the whole corner off, move this thing up, and then move this, and then this part is sectioned up here versus through the center of that radius.
Yeah, that's probably the better option.
Take an inch out here. And so instead of taking it out here to retain this, take your inch out through this area here, like you do with chocolate on top to get it close to the belt line.